This is the Simpit. I am your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to the Pit Stop, where you are the real star of today's show. And welcome today for today's news. And I warned you, it is a slow week here in that holiday time of year between Christmas and New Year's. So there might not even be any point in firing up the camera tomorrow or Friday, but I'm going to do so anyway, even if there's nothing to talk about. So I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have an opportunity today. I only have 3 very quick, very small stories, so if there's anything you guys want to talk about, sim racing news or anything, just let me know and we can take some diversions today. Otherwise, it'll be a very quick and brief show. So let's get to the news and talk about what's going on. And first things up, very, very small news, so I'm warning you already. The sale on Forza 7 is still going on, so 35% off through January 4th. So that's $38.99 for Forza Motorsport 7, which they've done some updates to and things like that. So you can do that. Teacher, that's a good idea. Show our presents. I didn't get any presents. Nobody loves me. I didn't get any Christmas presents this year. I have to buy my own gifts. But I once heard somebody say that the best gifts are the ones you buy yourself. I actually tend to agree with that. I have very particular and expensive taste, so it's hard for others to buy gifts for me. Other things, somebody else mentioned this. I saw it at B-Sim Racing as well. New motion sim company in the works. These guys are got a nice looking 4DOF simulator. They're called Fasetech. And real quick, take a quick diversion. For those of you, I know motion is sort of a new thing. Not new, but growing market in sim racing. And for those of you who do not know, DOF stands for Degrees of Freedom. And you might see it say 2 or 3 or 4. And the amount of degrees of freedom are the amount of movement. So if it goes forward and backward, that's 1 degree. If it goes left and right, that's 2 degrees. Doing the diagonals between is 3 degrees. Up and down could be 4 degrees. Kicking the ass around, yaw control they'll call it, could be another degree of freedom. So when you hear people talk about the number and the DOF, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about how much movement, and what makes this different than, say, a Sim Experience or a CXC or a Frex is that it actually does go up and down. So that is the added degree of freedom. I haven't tried it. It looks kind of nice. Looks a little on the bouncy side. You can see when it moves, there's a little bit of a wobble after the movement as it's trying to move the whole rig. That's one of the concerns I have about full movement of the rig versus a seat mover, is that you end up with some residual, can't see much of that screen. I probably am going to get in trouble for playing the video anyway. But you can see there's a lot of after bounce. So after it moves, it just keeps kind of jouncing a little bit. And that is one problem that you're going to find with certain motion sims. And when you ask me my opinion on sims, that's one of the things I'm critical of, is that added unwanted motion that you might get. Now, I'm just looking at the video. I'm not saying that. I have not driven the sim. It could be awesome. I don't know. The big one, weight is always a limitation when it comes to most of the current motion sims. Now, that can always be overcome with stronger actuators. So they go with an actuator that gives them the price point that they want, and with a limitation being the weight capacity many a times. I know with CXC they upgraded to some very, very robust actuators, and it increased the amount, and I haven't had any limitation on what I could put a driver in. I've had some very, very large guys getting those rigs, and it seems to hold up and move just fine. But that's with these very overbuilt actuators. If you look at the CXC actuators now, they're like this big around the post on them. They're gigantic. So, yeah, the helicopter sim looks cool. I mean, motion sims are fun. They're really cool. I get a lot of people ask me about them. My ultimate opinion on them is they're really great and they're really fun. I almost use the word novelty, but that's not fair. They're much better than that. My concern is a lot like the stick shift, and people give me a hard time sometimes for not using the shifter, and I don't want to go into that whole discussion right now, but it's one of those things that's not going to necessarily make you faster. It might even make you slower. So if I'm running against others that I know are in a motion sim as well, and they're paying the same price or penalty of all that movement on top of the precision of driving, then I like racing in them. They are fun. They are another level of immersion. There's no denying it. But I tend to be quicker on a static rig. So it kind of comes back to, what are you trying to get? The most realism, the most feel, the most immersion, fastest lap times. Whatever you're trying to get out of sim racing is likely going to affect your setup and what you want out of it. So that's it for that last piece of news, and then I'm going to move on. So again, if there's anything you guys want to talk about, go ahead and hit me up right now. But right now, the next story is just a little tiny story. This is at Red Bull GRC at their Red Bull Twitter feed, and you can see what they have is, do you have what it takes? Stan, are you in the chat here? Do you have what it takes to make our iRacing Livery of the Week features? Send us your GRC liveries, and they're going to pick 3 on Thursday, which is tomorrow. So if you would like to paint a car and see if you have what it takes. Hello, Sai. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us here for the very short on the news day here, Wednesday. Hump day between Christmas and New Year's Eve. So that is going to do it for the news. And since I have your attention, let's go ahead and bring up the map. I haven't brought it up. I've added a few people who contacted me and let me know. Colombia's in the house. Bogota, Colombia is now in the house. But our Simpit map is continuing to fill in. And beyond that, we have Battle of the Beamers. Tonight is our practice night. So 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time this evening, we'll have our practice session. Me and a lot of you guys out on track just seeing what we can get out of Laguna. We're running the new version of Laguna. I have yet to turn a lap, so that'll be my first laps there in this car. Looking forward to that. And beyond that, a lot of people have asked me for next season, which starts up on the 4th in the McLaren F1 GTR, Suzuka, which version? And I have confirmed it. It is the race department version of Suzuka. So all those of you trying to get a jump on it. Yeah, I thought about wearing the camel shirt. I was actually supposed to wear my red logo Simpit shirt, but I couldn't find it. So I have to find that very, very quickly and show that shirt. Maybe next hump day we'll bring back the camel shirt. Beyond that, what I have planned, again, it's slow. We're going to have some slow pit stops here in the next few days, and maybe even as the new year gets started. I thought about that rally, that WRC competition, and that guy who won on a controller. And we've debated and talked about what can be done on a controller. So, I don't know if you guys noticed or remember this in the news a while ago, but Thrustmaster did release a new PC controller. And I thought, well, why don't I get one of these and see what I can do with it? Let's see what I can do in Assetto Corsa. Let's see what I can do in iRacing even, if I can map controls, which I believe I can. Nice thing about this, and this isn't a review, since I got it, I'll go ahead and do a very quickie review as well. Not right now, but as things go along. It comes with like an 8-foot cord, which I love. I'm not a fan of wireless. If you look, my keyboard has a wire on it. My mouse, oh, I can't bring it in there. My mouse has a wire on it. I'm a big fan of wired devices, not a huge fan of wireless when it comes to my PC gaming. So that's something I'm going to be playing with and working on. Can I win the WRC competition with this controller? Anyway, they also sent me a pair of their new headphones. So I've got these guys, and I'm going to be, whoops, putting it too far up there. I'm going to be trying those out as well. And funny enough, this did not come with a long cable. That's all I'll already tell you. That's one of the things I'm not thrilled about those headphones. So those are two of the things I have in the works. Beyond that, working on a couple of Ricmotech mods, for Thrustmaster rims. So a few different options that they have available that I'm going to be bringing to you over the next week or so. And then beyond that, the last thing that I am currently working on right now actively is that Xbox controller project, DIY. No, I have not tried Wreckfest, but it's on my list as well, for sure. So, Wreckfest, I saw some more screen images, and I thought, man, that game looks so much fun. That's something. Again, let's talk about games that I'd like to play, even if it doesn't work out that I can be great in iRacing or Assetto Corsa with this. Grand Theft Auto, I was not able to map my controller. That kind of sucked. Go ahead and use this instead of the keyboard and mouse. Wreckfest might work, and there are a few other games that I've played that had like no wheel support whatsoever. Obviously not Sims, more the diversion type games that we talk about that I'd be interested in playing. The other one is my version of Forza 7 is actually on the PC, not on my Xbox One. So this allows me to use a controller like all the other Xbox players do, and see how Forza plays like that. So it'll be interesting to see how that compares, how effective or how precise it can be done, how much dexterity that I can show with my thumbs using something that sensitive. So I'm looking forward to that. I might do something live over the weekend with my testing on that controller, and I don't have a whole lot of huge plans for New Year's. I'm actually taking it easy this year for New Year's, so I'll probably spend more time working over the New Year's weekend than partying it up too much. So anyway, that is going to do it for today's show. Not a lot of news. Sorry about that. I can't control it. But we will be back tomorrow, even if I just have one story. I'll fire up the camera, let you know that one story, get off the air just to make sure that we're here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, covering the pit stop and what's going on in sim racing today. So I hope you enjoyed this show. If you're not here for Thursday or Friday because the holidays are coming, enjoy New Year's. Happy New Year's to everybody. And we already have talked about extensively how great 2018 is going to be. I think we're going to see some really major innovations and things getting down to our level. Things that we maybe were at those top Formula One sims coming to our level. Sim expansion. The year of esports. This is going to be the year. So we're there. We're just days away from 2018 kicking off, and so many good things in the works. So that's great. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being part of the pit crew and making it so much fun to do these shows. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.